Hey friends, Jessica here from Creators Couture. So in this quick tutorial, we are going to be creating this Monstera leaf that you see here. And what I like about it is it has a really interesting textural mixed media feel to it. And it's so easy to create. I just am using a few Photoshop brushes, one of my 24 karat gold layer styles. And the best part about it is that you need zero drawing ability to create something like this. And then once you create something like this, you could turn it into an invitation design, a pattern design, clip art, sell it as clip art. The possibilities are endless. So let's go ahead and get started. I am just gonna squeeze this over to the side here and we'll use this as a reference. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of my Monstera, I think that's how you say it, stamp brushes from my Tropical Fall collection. And I think it's called Tropical Fall. Anyway, it's right here. I'll have all these links down below. And this is a Style Start collection, which came with some brushes. So this is just a stamp brush. We're gonna click like this, and that's gonna give us our guide for our design. And notice, to save time, I save these as tool presets on my tool panels here, but normally you will find these in your brushes. And I'll link all the brushes down below. So that stamp is going to serve as our base. But as you can see on its own, it's a little bit boring. We need to add something to it. So I'm going to create a new layer above that and then create a clipping mask. And so all the layers that I'll add will be between those layers. So I'm just going to add one layer, and first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here, grab my pattern stamp tool, and if you're not familiar with my pattern stamp technique, my multicolor pattern stamp technique, I'll have a link down below. And I'm going to grab, yeah, there it is. So this is a brush, a color blending brush from my textile and fiber collection. And I think it's this one right here. And it's just a really fun color blending brush. And I think it looks really cool for patterns. And I'm grabbing an emerald color palette. And my emerald color palette is from my crystal, gem crystal Photoshop brush studio here. So, just because you have these color palettes for the jewel designs doesn't mean you can't use them on other things. So I'm using that color palette from that collection with a color blending brush from my other collection, mixing it up, and I'm just gonna fill in this Monstera leaf like this. And as you can see, these leaves, it's blending all those little subtle color variations in really interesting ways. So that's cool, but I'm going to add one more layer above that with the same brush. I'm grabbing a lighter emerald color layer, or a color blend. It's a pre-blended color palette. And now I'm just going to add some accents like I see over here. So this is just adding a little bit more visual interest. And I'm just kind of going on these things here and maybe doing every other one. So just kind of having some fun with it. And it's adding just a really fun, kind of a collage-y sort of feeling, mixed media. It's a lot of fun. And so then the next thing that we're gonna do is add this wet paintbrush here. So that's really fun. Then we're getting the dry color blending with the impressionist. And then we're gonna, make it add some contrast with those wet paint strokes. So I'm going to create one more layer, and I'm grabbing my mixer brush number 19 from my wet paint studio, which has amazing color blending brushes. So I've got the brush from that, and I'm actually using a wet color palette from my from the jewel collection. And I'm just going to option click on this. This is my color palette. So this is my digital color palette for my wet paint mixer brushes. And again, link below in case you're not familiar with this, but we are going to option and click on this layer to load that color blend into our wet paint mixer brush. And then let's go back to my reference. And so then what I did was, I have a new layer here, I just kind of painted around the edges here and I'm not going to worry about it being, it's really kind of fun, and gives it this like, kind of a collage, kind of a mixed media kind of vibe. So, and you really see all the strokes in that paint stroke. So it really is fun, adds some visual interest. But now we want a little bit of gold, because you know I love to add gold in everything. So below that wet layer, I'm going to create a new layer. I'm going to go ahead and add, let's see here, I don't know what, I'll just add one of my gold, I'll add gold 1A maybe. One of my golds from my 24 karat gold collection, and they're all like nice, smooth gold paint inspired styles, and I actually don't have them handy, but I will link that below. And then I am grabbing my, where is the brush? My Brushwork Dry Brush number 9. And this is one of my favorite combos. So this is my Brushwork collection. And this is like my edited essentials. So these are my one color brushes. They're edited. I don't have too many of them. And they all have like really beautiful texture in them. And they're really nice, a really nice foundation set. So I'm grabbing brush number 6. And I've already applied the gold layer style to my layer. So as I brush, I'll be able to see the gold, you know? And so I'm just going to do like I see over here, and I'm not using a full pressure. I'm using like a light pressure so that you kind of see that texture come through. And I'm just going to add some little accents here. And you know what? I think I'll play around with the styles. Let's see here. That's, I'll put it as like 1B. I think I don't know exactly what style I use there, but anyway, just kind of add some little accents like you see over there. And I'm using a light pressure to kind of get, or I can go like this, adding a light pressure so you can see some of that texture. And it just feels like a really, I like the effect using the 24 karat gold collection with the Brushworks. And you can just get some really cool like painterly gold brush strokes that add really nice accents. So I'm just going to add some there. I'm not going to worry about they're perfect, but you can see what I did over there. So good enough, looks cool. I think I will add one layer like I did here underneath of the whole Monstera leaf. Add the same gold layer style just by clicking it. And just add some little like accents like I saw here. So I might take my brush size down. Let's see here. So I had just kind of added some, oh Lord, added some accents over on the side here, but just to kind of add a little bit of visual, you know, just to kind of change it up a bit. And so add some kind of over here. So just a little bit different, just to have a little front and back, whatever. I'm not going to worry about it being perfect, but you can see over on the left side, you know what I did. And oh, I never actually like, sometimes I like to, there we go. You can see the gold kind of stays still as we move it, but it's cool. You can play around with that. So pretty much the same thing. And now we have a Monstera leaf motif that looks really interesting. It looks like you could have like spent a lot of time making this, you know, with all your little brush strokes, but this was just, we were letting, you know, working smarter not harder, and using the power of Photoshop brushes. And we've created a really interesting, really textural mixed media sort of motif. And now you could turn around and, you know, sell this as a clip art. You could create a Canva template. You could create a pattern design, a surface pattern design, a digital background, what have you. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I'll link everything down below. You know, as I'm going forward now, I don't need to, I have different resources if you're needing to learn the foundations. So I might go a little faster, but this is because I already have that material available, so I don't need to show you every time like how to load brushes, all that. So if you have any questions about this tutorial, just let me know. And also as a Patreon bonus, I'm going to have the brushes and the source file available for download on my Patreon. And those are the people that they pay a few bucks every month and they get like bonus extra things. So I'm really enjoying that platform, and I have a, you know, some amazing community there. So if that's something that interests you, just check out, I'll have the link down below. And hopefully everyone's having a great Sunday, and I'm looking forward to a lot of exciting things this week, so stay tuned.